There's little doubt who the center of attention was. Patrick Roy. This guy owned the wings more than Mike Ilitch. But Mr. Ilitch has his middlemen. When the teams reunited Saturday at McNichols Sports Arena, it was they who became the centers of attention. In hockey circles, strength at center is salvation. For as long as they've taken face-offs, Igor Larionov and his spin-off Sergei Fedorov have had to answer questions about their aims, but never their caliber. They're on target now. If you're looking for a turning point in the series thus far, no moment was larger in scope than when Steve Yzerman beat the ultimate money goaltender with a bank shot. 3 centers. They've taken Detroit's expectation and center through the roof. We always have a lot of fun in Buffalo, and there's no question we'll have a soft spot for the original 6 arenas. But tonight, Hockey Night in Canada is on the air from Canada's favorite American venue, Joe Louis Arena, Detroit, Michigan. Colorado and the Red Wings tied in a game apiece.
This is going to be a dynamite game, I'll tell you. I love it.
Yeah, you can't beat the atmosphere. The big purple octopus set to come down.
And for Colorado to be successful, Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg have to play and play well. In Game 2, it was the Detroit Stars who were the Stars.
Oh, you knew the atmosphere would be like this. Their first meeting since the March Mayhem here in Hockeytown. Ron?
There's a look from Scotty Bowman, a little different from when he left the bench the other night. But believe me, the Red Wings, who've had hockey here since 1926 and Stevie Y since 1983, but not the Stanley Cup, of course, since '55. There's a tremendous mood for the home side tonight. Colorado Avalanche, the Detroit Red Wings, the series squared at a game apiece. Game 3's next on Molson Hockey Night in Canada and the Stanley Cup playoffs. Getting set for Game 3 of the Western Conference Final in Detroit, where they've waited a long time for their ship to come in. Prior to Game 2, Igor Larionov said, "Keep up the attack."
The Western Conference Showdown has moved to Hockeytown for game number 3. And a terrific atmosphere here at Joe Louis Arena. Patrick Roy has been Colorado's best player in the series so far. Tonight marks his 150th Stanley Cup playoff game. And at the other end, Mike Vernon has been solid, 1.83 goals against average in the playoffs. That's the 3rd best of all Stanley Cup playoff goaltenders.
And there's Paul Boyer adjusting Mike Vernon's skates, stoning them down at the Detroit bench. Paul Boyer, part of the bench brigade for the Detroit Red Wings. He and John Wharton looking after the bench after the game.
Pride of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Interesting starting lineup for Colorado as Peter Forsberg is at center, along with Eric Lacroix and Mike Keane. And John Clem, who has played forward in this series, has dropped back to defense, and that was Clem taking Sandstrom out. On Saturday night, McCarty had the insurance goal, and here's Yzerman centering it in front. Forsberg at the point. Lidstrom, he fired that off target. Murphy stepped up. His shot blocked. Murphy again. Early Red Wing pressure, bouncing in front. And Patrick Roy called upon in the opening half minute of the game. In the Colorado zone. That was Doug Brown covering for Konstantinov, and now Scott Young failed to take the pass at center. It's chipped back in by Brown. Playing on a line with Fedorov. And Lapointe crashing in there. And it's chipped to center. Here's Fedorov coming off his best game in these playoffs. Trying to twist away from Gusarov. Puts it in front, they score!
You knew Detroit was going to come come out well. They played well on the road the first 10 minutes. Fedorov has been very good. Gains the blue line. Konstantinov's coming in. Kozlov's there. And Kozlov gets it on his backhand. Nice spinning move by Fedorov. Gets it out to Kozlov. And Kozlov directs it by, but it was Konstantinov coming in. Everybody went to him, and Kozlov was wide open.
So it took a minute 12 for the Detroit Red Wings to score. They had not scored in the first period of the first two games in this series, have not had a lead after one period of play in any game in this postseason. Here's Brendan Shanahan firing it right on. And it's all Red Wings in the opening 90 seconds. Now here's Forsberg trying to change the momentum of this opening stage. Ariana up to Shanahan. Shanahan has it in front of the Red Wing bench, and he'll send it in. Kozlov, sixth of the playoffs. 4 have come on the power play. That an even strength goal. Koser can't get loose over the line, and Lemieux has it for Colorado. Lemieux out there with Sakic. Konstantinov plays it around, and it slides the length of the ice. Fedorov gets the lone assist on Detroit's opening goal. And now Kamensky tries to speed away with Lemieux. Here's Claude Lemieux in, and a shot on Vernon is stopped. At the line, and now Lemieux. Here's Lemieux pounding it in on Vernon. Gets his own rebound. Now they set it up for Ozelin. Lemieux. Sakic in the slot. Forsberg's in front. Loose! Vernon diving for it. Scramble in front. And finally, Vernon is able to freeze. .51 seconds left in the power play. Sakic against Fedorov, and it's Fedorov winning the draw. That one took another funny hop as Detroit tried to clear it. To Sakic. Fedorov took foot down. Here's Ozelin pounding it in there, and Mike Vernon looks sharp, doesn't he?
Down goes Kerry Fraser as he came in.
Keeps it in for Colorado. There's a centering pass loose in front. Holtby to the line. Here's Guserov's shot. That went wide. Put on this side. Avalanche putting on some pressure. So Mike Vernon hangs on. Lemieux parked in front of the net. Forsberg tees it up. Doesn't get through. The Avalanche give it up at center. Here's Sandstrom, and he overskated it. Well, that could have been a 2-on-1. Detroit shorthanded. Instead, it's Lemieux wheeling through center. Pass for Sakic too far. Vernon hands it to Kamensky in front, and what a stop! Forsberg. Oh, Vernon got himself in trouble, but got out of it again.
Valerie Kamensky with the blind pass to Peter Forsberg.
Here's Forsberg. Messier moved in, now works his way back out. Side of the net, Kamensky, backhand, and that one went wide. Kamensky thought it was in. Forsberg now, 15 seconds left in the power play. Avalanche thought they had the tying goal for a moment. Forsberg tries to thread it across. That's Messier on the far side. Gives it up, and Rouse will send it down. And Bob Rouse took a slash, and he goes to the bench. There's Lapointe out of the penalty box. Hit Forsberg. Now Yzerman, wrist shot. That's knocked down. He gets it again. His shot blocked. And Forsberg picks up the loose puck. After Yzerman had a couple of chances. Puck comes loose, and Yzerman will carry it out. Here's Yzerman, pass Sakic, 2-on-1. Yzerman in, and Patrick Waugh the save. Now Sakic will turn it up the other way. Here's the Avalanche captain, firing it around. Young on the far side against Konstantinov. Young tried to get it to the point, and it's driven out to center. And Ozelin will go back behind his net. Sakic has it at the point. Here's the pass for Kamensky. Blast wide side of the net. And Lemieux up with it. Kamensky to Sakic, pounding it. Oh, Mike Vernon. He looks bulletproof tonight, John.
He really does. As the silver bullet was fired by Joe Sakic from the point, and Mike Vernon.
Quad, Mike Vernon. Was 1-7, Vernon's 1-6. The Avalanche win the faceoff. 52 seconds left in the power play. Kucherov, his pass in low. Vernon down. And covers up. Yzerman, Larionov, Fedorov. Yzerman. Now across to Murphy. Shot! Deflected off the crossbar. Larionov redirecting the Murphy pass off the bar. And it's sent down the ice by John Clem.
Roy ended up looking at Kerry Fraser to see if that was in. He had no idea where it was. And
they still have the best penalty killing unit in these playoffs. Shot off target. Martin Lapointe on this side. Tried to get it for Kozlov, and it slides into the goal crease. And this will be the first time in these Stanley Cup playoffs that the Detroit Red Wings will head to the dressing room after 20 minutes with a lead.
And the only reason they have that lead is the play of Mike Vernon.
Vernon was brilliant. 13 saves. They killed 3 penalties. And after 20 minutes at Joe Louis Arena, 1-0 Red Wings.
We had the scoring chances at 7-6 for Colorado. 6 of those 7 chances came with the man advantage.
And starting the second period, Yzerman's up front with McCarty and Sandstrom. For the Red Wings, Peter Forsberg has the puck for Colorado. They jam along the boards. And Keane comes up with the loose puck. In for Deadmarsh. He's tied up. Sakic has it now with room to roam in front. Lost it. And the Red Wings able to clear it out of harm's way to the corner. And Murphy flips it down the ice. No icing. Patrick comes out to play it. Shanahan steals it. He had a man in front. The point with the puck deflected high. Deadmarsh hit by Lapointe. And almost lost it. Here's Shanahan firing it. Well, that one ends up in the seats as the Avalanche get careless in their own zone. Now Kozlov to Brown. Here's Doug Brown firing the shot. And Patrick Roy took it high and covers up. Here's a pass. Fedorov just failed to catch up to. He's deep in the zone, and Brown comes up with it. Centers it. And that shot by Kozlov rolled wide. On the Brown setup. Pass in front again. Brown wide. Aaron Miller tries to get it out and does. Rose follows. He's checked by Sakic. Now Sakic's in. Quick shot. And Vernon will cover. Well, Joe Sakic has looked much more dangerous so far tonight in Game 3. Now a pass picked off by McCarty. Over the line is Yzerman. Here's Yzerman shooting it. That goes high. And a penalty coming up as Darren McCarty was upended. Shanahan, and now Fedorov takes over at the line. He bumped into Clem. On a foot taken to the boards, but stays with it. Played it around off the ledge, and Fedorov spins it back in behind the net. Here's Larionov. Foot takes a man down in front. Lindstrom shooting. That hit somebody, went wide. Comes back to Larionov now at the point. Watched by Young. Young got a stick on it, stole it, and then lost it. Sandstrom, and his shot doesn't get through. Broke his stick, and he'll have to go to the bench. Under a half minute to go in this Detroit power play. And now it's Kozlov reeling in. Here's Kozlov looking off the skate right on. Rebound! Not wide. Martin Lapointe behind the net. It's now Kozlov. Takes a look. Time running out. Watched by Clem, down low, Sandstrom, and Patrick Roy has it at the side of the net. And now Lapointe jostles. That's Adam Foote in there with Martin Lapointe.
And the Detroit defense don't come in. They want this faceoff to be deep in the Colorado zone. They're just circling at the blue line.
9 shots of the 16 tonight from the power play. Sakic makes it 10. And Vernon continues his great play. Avalanche, that's their 17th shot on goal. The 1-goal lead in Game 3. Here's a giveaway. Shanahan fires it. And Patrick Roy came out to beat him. Valeriana at his own line. Konstantinov breaking on the right side. Moving in, but checked by Lefebvre. And now Sakic tries to counter with Lemieux and Ozolich, and they're calling it offside on a 2-line pass. Deadmarsh goes to get it. Forsberg overskated the puck. Here's a shot right on off the stick of Lidstrom.
Well, tomorrow night we're back, Flyers and Rangers, and what a story. Wayne Gretzky, his 10th hat-trick game in the playoffs.
Here's Fedorov digging deep to the Colorado zone, and Miller with a stiff check. Puck up on the side of the net, and Lefebvre brings it down, sends it out to center ice. Fedosov in some trouble. Here's Kamensky into Cormier in front, and Vernon again, forcing that one wide. Now Yves Saroux after it, tied up by Fedosov. They continue the battle at Kamensky. Tried to center it. Corbeil's without a stick as it broke in front of the net. And now played ahead by Detroit. That puck deflecting out of play. But Mike Vernon continues to be unbeatable.
And the crowd likes that save on Rene Corbeil. And I don't know whether Rene Corbeil ended up with a shot. He got in and he tried to deke Vernon.
And the Avalanche turn quickly. Forsberg leads them out. Kamensky on his left, Lemieux on the right. Forsberg now snaps the shot off the blocker of Vernon. Rolled in front again, Vernon down. And they'll clear the Avalanche out of there. Fedosov taking a man to the boards as they scrum into the side of Mike Vernon.
Mike Vernon tried to push that rebound away from the net. He didn't push it far enough, and Fedosov made sure that not too many Avalanche took a whack at Mike Vernon. Called, and you're right, Chris, that's a reputation call.
Now Sakic over to Ozolich. Ozolich walking in, back to Sakic. Wrist shot, that's blocked by Yzerman. Rebound, scores! Joe Sakic has tied the game.
And Scotty's saying in the crease. He's going in the crease, in the crease.
Point number 22.
Look at him lean into that wrist shot. And watch this one. The hands out in front. The goaltender cannot read that shot. You have no idea where it's going, and yet it is in that 85 to 90 mile an hour range.
They tell the goaltenders, they can tell Steve Yzerman now if you can't make the second save.
Yes, that's first. That's right. Don't block the first one if you're not going to get the second.
And number 13, Valerie Kamensky.
Ozolich and Kamensky get assists on the second goal. Here's Larianov back for Detroit. He whistled that one wide. Martin Lapointe in behind the goal. Larianov with it. Trying to center it for Shanahan. That's knocked down. Forsberg rolls it out to center. Again, the tying goal at 14:47. Ozolich and Kamensky assisting Sakic. Now here's Lidstrom. It's the quick high shot. Shanahan on this side. Plays it around. Lapointe on the other side. Put there for Colorado, and it ends up going over the glass. Out of play. So the Red Wings go to work. Lidstrom and Murphy are the point men. Here's Shanahan on the left side. Sandstrom's in front. Shanahan off the glove of Waugh. Murphy moves up. He's watched by Keane. Lariana to Shanahan. Lidstrom. That shot blocked by Keane. Shanahan couldn't get a shot away. He'll get it again. And now it's rolled in front. Waugh down. Puck cleared. Dying seconds of the period. Here's Murphy. Bouncing it through again. Knocked down by Gusarov. And maybe time for a shot. Lidstrom played it off. And they won't get another directed in Patrick Waugh's direction.
And Patrick Waugh just ran over Thomas Sandstrom in front. And then Larry Murphy comes over to hit Patrick Waugh. And this period's not over. Here comes Sandstrom. But Patrick hardly touched Sandstrom, and Sandstrom went down like he was shot.
Now Sakic and Sandstrom.
And Sandstrom's pointing over at Patrick Waugh. Yeah, you dove. Kerry Fraser's telling me, yeah, you took a dive. And I agree with Kerry Fraser on this one. Patrick Waugh was skating out of the net. He touched the post like he always does at the end of the period, and then he skated out of the net. He barely brushed Sandstrom.
Forsberg looking for Lemieux, broken up by Lidstrom. Has to wait for Sandstrom to get onside. Now it's Lapointe moving in. John Clem on Lapointe. And takes Lapointe off the puck. Forsberg picks it up, and he is nailed by Konstantinov. Big hit. Here's Lemieux with a quick shot. And Vernon down to make the save. Vernon was upended at the side of the net. That got a reaction, and Lapointe has it at center. Here's Martin Lapointe called on the two-line pass. And the fans don't like the treatment Vernon got. Rene Corbett's on the ice, but here's Larionov, 2-on-1 as Shanahan tries to catch up. Larionov stopped by Waugh. Shanahan the rebound. And he tried to play it back, and Colorado's headed the other way. Adam Foote jumps up. Here's Foote over the line. Going wide against Konstantinov. Centered it, and that was knocked wide by Denmark. Sakic intercepts at center. Plays it right back in. Denmark first man to it. Corbett has it behind the net, trying to swoop in front. Gives it off to Sakic. Now at the point. Foote with the drive. And Lapointe takes it off the end boards. A hit for Shanahan and Larionov. Back in they come. Shanahan can't get a shot away. Now Lapointe moves up. He's watched by Sakic, Larionov, and Foote jostling. Here's Kozlov. Up for Fedorov. Brown loose right side. Doug Brown moving in. Trying to slip it in. Waugh goes down and covers up.
Larionov had his first on that last 2-on-1.
Now here's Forsberg working in, and that one just went wide. Kamensky picks up the loose puck. Flips it towards the net. Lemieux batting at it at the side of the net, and Vernon will cover up. Betasov lost it to Scott Young. Young looking for Sakic. Here's Sakic in front of the car, and he just whistled that one wide. Now Sakic, the long shot, doesn't get through. Then McCarty up ahead for Kozlov. Here's Yzerman. Yzerman passing it across. Sandstrom off his stick. Back across, and Yzerman has it. Trying to twist away. Mark Messier watching Yzerman. Sandstrom behind the net. Yzerman keeps working for it. It's picked up by McCarty. In front. And Yzerman after it again. Back to McCarty. Long shot bouncing through and blocked by Messier. Detroit wins the face-off. Betasov shot. Blocked by Clem. Ricci in deep. Knocked down by Kozlov. Here's Kozlov to Brown. Shooting it. Down to make the stop. Centered by Fedorov. Kozlov looking for it against Ricci. He has it. Shoots. Scores! The red light is on.
Kerry Fraser is going upstairs.
What a shot by Kozlov.
Scotty Bowman looking on. This line has been good. They've had their share of chances, even though Fedorov, who had 7 shots in Game 2, does not have a shot on goal. It's a goal.
His second of the game.
Kozlov. Where do you go with Patrick Waugh? Try and go high. And that's what Kozlov does. It gets him to go up under the bar off Patrick Waugh's shoulder.
Kozlov only had 1 even strength goal until tonight. He has 2 in Game 3.
Better look from our net cap, Lefebvre and Brown. And there's Doug Brown going to the net, creating traffic in front of Patrick Waugh. And Brown made sure he wasn't in the crease. Now, what do they say? Shaibu after they score? And Fedorov Kozlov and Doug Brown creating havoc in front of Patrick Roy.
I think Doug Brown says, nice shot. Second time tonight, Kozlov has given Detroit a lead.
And that all came from a face-off in the offensive zone. And there's Patrick Roy watching the replay from the bench, and he knows it's in. And Detroit won another offensive zone face-off, and that created the chance.
Here's Avalanche flipping it back in wide of the net. Murphy after it for Detroit. And it's backhanded out by the Red Wings. Time of the goal was 8:20. Fedorov gets an assist on the goal by Kozlov. Now Kaminsky over the line. There's a bad angle shot by Kaminsky right on. And Vernon holds it.
Valerie Kaminsky looking for a rebound, but Mike Vernon doesn't give any rebound. He's talking things over now with Carey Fraser.
Up to Rene Corbet. Can't get to the line. Turned back by Kozlov. Now Corbet gets his stick high with Konstantinov behind the play. Pass for Corbet behind him. Konstantinov was there. And Corbet heads to the bench on a chain. He leaves it from the point. Here's the shot, and that hit somebody in front and went wide. Adam Deadmarsh looks ahead. Pass picked off by LaPointe. He's knocked down. Sandstrom lost control of it, and it rolls in on Vernon. Steve Yzerman now. Lead pass. Sandstrom nearly had a step on Gusarov, but Gusarov recovered. Yzerman in the corner. Here's Fedorov. Shot. Stopped on the short side by Waugh. Sandstrom takes his man out. Yzerman on it. Yzerman, nice move. Works in front. Waugh down to make the stop. Great play by Yzerman on foot. And foot nailed him with an elbow. And a penalty's coming up. Real battle along the boards. Sandstrom knocks a man down. But the elbowing call is going against Adam Foote. Detroit with the lead. And a power play when we come back. He'll flip it around. Waugh to the net. Patrick Waugh almost had his pocket picked by Shanahan. He's out of the net as Kozlov. Comes up with it. Now a pass to the point does get through, and Konstantinov into the corner for Lariano. Avalanche have had a couple of chances to clear. Konstantinov, Lidstrom. Back to Konstantinov, under a half minute to go. Shot right on. And the rebound. Konstantinov after it. Lifting the stick of Gusarov. They battle for it. Then it comes back to the point. Shanahan, Lidstrom. Lidstrom firing it high. And finally cleared by Colorado.
Patrick Waugh staying on his feet. Knew the defenseman had the low shot. Took the high one off the chest.
5 minutes to go. Third period. And the penalty to Forsberg is over. There's a shot. Stopped by Waugh and sent down the ice. Right on Mike Vernon. Kaminsky over the line. He's tripped up by Lariano. Then off the side of the net, Konstantinov. Well, you could hear a sigh in the building, expecting Carey Fraser to call that trip. Now Shanahan bursting in. Shanahan stopped by Waugh. 1:20 to go. Big chance there for Detroit to add some insurance. Glenn chased back. And the fans now rising to their feet. Avalanche get it in deep. Waugh's gone to the bench. Extra attacker out there now. Here's Eric Lacroix. Side of the net. Sakic in front. And Young was stopped by Vernon. Big save there by Mike Vernon. Detroit clears it past Foote now. Back to get it is Gusarov. Up ahead it goes. Rink wide for Keane. He's stopped by Fedorov. And play's been whistled down. 35.8 seconds left.
It is hard to hear the whistle here in the defense of the timekeepers.
Even though it's a center ice face-off, Patrick Roy stayed out. Shot in, Konstantinov can't clear it. Fedorov will try the other side. Foot digging after it, up against Yzerman. Along the boards, and Fedorov's up with it. Here's Fedorov down the ice with an empty net, and it's off the outside of the post. 15 seconds to go. Avalanche running out of time as Lemieux sends it in and off Vernon, way up into the crowd. So they'll get a face-off deep in the Detroit zone as Fedorov missed a chance to ice it.
Well, it is so noisy in here. I don't think Fedorov heard or saw Darren McCarty coming in with him. It was a clean 2-on-1, and Fedorov decided to take the shot from the board.
Avalanche haven't trailed a series since Game 1 of last year's against Chicago. And they are 10.5 seconds away from falling behind Detroit. Big offensive zone face-off now for Joe Sakic. It comes back to the point. Chance for Ozolinsh. Look for Sakic, broken up. And Detroit's going to win it.
And who picked off that last pass? Nicholas Lidstrom.
Mike Vernon was brilliant tonight. 27 saves. Slava Kozlov scored both Detroit goals. And that combination gives the Red Wings their 200th playoff victory in their 71-year history. So the defending Stanley Cup champions have fallen behind in the 1997 Stanley Cup playoffs.